We are live, everybody. We are live on the Rely Radio Show on Real Talk 100 Radio. This show airs every Tuesday night from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. Tonight we're gonna go till about 11 o'clock because we're getting a little bit of a late start. That's all right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. This is a very deeply rooted show. If you're into deep conversations, this is the show for you. I'm going to hand the microphone over to our host tonight, Miss Brooklyn Sun and Mr. Inyar Zulu. Y'all go give Inyar Zulu a follow. I always screw his Instagram up. Go give Rely Radio a show. Go give Rely Radio a follow. And go give Inyar Zulu a follow. And Brooklyn Sun is spelled
Wow.
BrookLynSunn. It's on the left hand bottom of the screen, and I'll let Inyar Zulu take over now. What's going on tonight, Inyar?
Man, chilling. What's popping?
Man, hey, I told you, like off camera, man. It's like my daddy used to say. My daddy used to say this old school. Now, don't laugh at it. It's rough and tumble. You know what that means?
I never heard
You
that.
never heard that one?
Mm-mm.
It's hard, but it's fair, basically. But that's how they used to
Okay.
say it in the old days.
Your daddy was a farm boy.
Yeah, he was. He in Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh
Cows
yeah.
That makes sense, man.
rough and tumble. It's rough. It's hard, but it's fair. I'm just waiting for the time when it's no longer hard, because I subscribe to the notion that most of us make life hard. We make life hard by the decisions that we make.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now that I'm older and wiser, I'm tired of making my life hard.
I
That's
dig it.
right.
I'm tired.
I
It's
dig it.
time to make it easy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Some of the decisions I made, I wish I hear people say all the time. If I had a chance to go back to 18, I wouldn't do it. Shit. I would change everything.
Yeah.
Everything I know right now, I would go back to 18, and I swear I would retire by the time I'm 28.
But then
Man.
that's the thing. You wouldn't be able to take everything you know now.
I wouldn't
You-
be able to take it.
No. You missed the whole journey.
I would
You
miss the
missed
whole
all
journey.
you missed all the learning lessons. You missed the whole journey. I was just talking to my coworker about that. Y'all seen the butterfly effect.
Yes.
Change one
Yeah.
thing, you change everything. When you stop and you look at that man in the mirror, you be like, I dig you, I like you, you my dude. It's because of that whole experience.
The whole experience.
The whole thing.
Right.
You old folks saying wouldn't take nothing from my journey.
Wouldn't take nothing from it.
It wouldn't take nothing for it.
Brooklyn.
Wouldn't
Look,
take nothing for my journey now.
Brooklyn. I put myself, my family, my kids, everybody through hell. I would go back and change that. I'm telling you, I put them through hell. I was a hellion as from, let's see, 16ish, maybe 17ish, 16 or 17, till I was almost 38. 35. 35. Well, I take that back. I was incarcerated. So from 16 till about, I straightened up when I was about 27.
Mhm.
And I said, you know what? They're going to hold me till 2024. It was approximately 1998-ish. And I had been in there since 1992. And they could hold me till 2024, which is next year.
Next year.
And I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm gonna be good, boss. Yeah, I'm gonna be good.
But so when you have an infection, everybody doesn't have the same penicillin.
When you have
When you have an infection, everybody doesn't get the same
penicillin.
penicillin.
Okay.
There's all different types of remedies for your particular infection. Whereby some people think that you could just take penicillin and get rid of everything, but it don't work on everything.
Right.
So you had your infection. You needed a certain type of medicine.
Right.
That was your medicine.
That was my medicine.
Because would you do it all? Would you do any of that stuff again?
Right now?
Yeah.
No.
Bet. You got your
I
medicine.
got my
Praise
medicine.
the Lord. You got a cure.
And
You've been cured.
And you're right about that because some people get the medicine and it does them no good.
Because usually they get the wrong medicine or they self-medicate.
Right.
That's
That's right. Inyar, introduce your listening audience. Introduce yourself to your listening audience and introduce your co-host and your show.
Man, if y'all been paying any attention on the gram, that's what they call it, the gram, right?
Yeah.
So y'all been looking on the gram. There's a new energy in the atmosphere. Sister Brooklyn's son. We're gonna rewind that and then we're gonna do the hand clap.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what we're gonna do.
New tool.
I am ready. I am ready. I am ready.
So if y'all been paying attention on the gram, we got a new energy in the atmosphere, and that energy is Brooklyn's son. So the last show she was on, I thought her energy was dope, and I told her that. Then I asked her if she wanted to co-host. As you can see, she didn't say hell no. She actually agreed. So now we're here.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing amazingly blacktastic. I'm so thankful. I appreciate this opportunity. It was a dope experience in exchange,
Mm-hmm.
and thank you. I thank you for welcoming me back.
Oh yeah, man. I'm glad you accepted the welcome. If you didn't accept it, I'd be here and act like I didn't ask. Be in denial a little bit. Like, yeah, it was a good show.
I'm sorry, we can't see some of the comments. I hate to cut you off. Mr. Joseph Methodius Humphrey is going to have a new show on Real Talk 100 Radio. It's going to be called A Cup of Joe, the Mortgage Pro, I believe. He's going to be talking about first-time buyers plans. He's going to be talking about his new brokerage firm. And Mr. Joe Methodius Humphrey, I need you to go to another. Okay, well, your Mr. Humphrey, your comments are showing up on my personal page. I need you to go to Real Talk 100 Radio. I can't see you on this live screen here, so I can refer it over to the show host. So,
well, that's a deep name, bro. You sound like one of them
Methodius.
Greek gods. Yeah.
Methodius.
What was your nickname? Like Meth or something? Hey, yo, Meth. Shoot.
He knows
Methodius.
He knows his stuff, man.
That's dope.
I can't
That's a
wait.
strong name.
Yeah.
But I think he did that on purpose. I wish he would call in tonight. I'm gonna put the call-in number on the bottom of the screen. This is the Rely Radio Show, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. But I just wanted to tell him that right quick. I have to go way to my page instead of reading on the screen.
Gotcha.
All right, Thodius, we're gonna see when you call. I like Thodius.
Absolutely.
There we go. Theo. Well, that's a deep name right there.
It sounds like there's a method to my thoughts.
Yeah. Like Confucius, but with a Negro
Right,
touch.
right. Right, most definitely.
He did say you were spitting facts, though, Brooklyn,
Oh,
about
thank you.
taking the antidote or taking your medicine.
Yes.
He said you were spitting facts.
Appreciate it.
When you were saying that. That's what he was saying, but it's not showing up on the screen.
Oh, that's cool. That's dope. Thank you.
To go back to your point, I was talking to my partner. Well, we always have this conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had opportunities in the past, whether it would have been music or, running something for a club or whatever, and or even certain women. Like I got the woman I want now, but even certain women, and it was like, man, if you go back, would you change it? I'm like, you know what, man? Nah. Because I think those mistakes, as I like to call them, they weren't mistakes. Those mistakes and those experiences we had. Number one, if I would have done it then, I would have messed it up. If we would have signed some of them contracts, one, I would have got screwed out of my money. Two, I just would have been screwing. I would have been a whole live hoe out here. Like,
that is so true.
Not a whole live hoe.
Oh man, a whole live hoe, man. I would have been a slut of hoe.
He did his whole Usher confession right there.
Yeah. I had no discipline. Now, I don't think I would have been super bad, but I think I didn't have the
so it's layers to it.
Yeah, it's layers to it. Like
No,
I naturally
super bad.
didn't like being with a whole bunch of women. That's just me. At the same time, I lacked control over myself.
Gotcha.
So you could have been like, you could have said something to me. If you would have said the right thing, I would have been like, and mature women knew that. I've had that happen before, and I was like, how did I get in this situation again? So
I say that a lot too. There's a lot of people who do that. All right, what's up? Method to it. I see you.
Othodius in the house.
Method to the thoughts. That's what's up. Yeah, it's very true. When people live in a lot of regret about the time frame in which different opportunities come to them, you have to respect that process.
Yeah.
There's a reason why industries go after the youth. You haven't formulated your own thoughts for real.
Exactly.
You haven't become solidified in the who that you are.
Exactly.
They depend on that.
Yeah.
Moldable clay.
Yeah.
It depends on your innocence to
do that
to do what they need to do, whatever that is with it. So it's a method to. I know they have the world thinking it's because it's not cool to become famous when you old. That's not the truth.
No,
that's really not the truth. The truth is you already got a made up mind.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can't do nothing with you.
Yeah, exactly. I can't control you no more.
Yes.
Coltrane got famous when he was a little older. He played with quite a few bands. Who? Bootsy.
Yes.
He was a little older. He played with everybody from James Brown to Funkadelics.
And you don't have to be old to be mature. So nobody is suggesting that. You could be immature at any age and you could be mature at any age. However, most people would appreciate it when you in a more moldable state.
Yeah, exactly. Where they can take advantage of it.
No matter what that looks like.
Would you say pop culture that preying on
that? Yes. So my version of, or what my definition of pop culture is, the protection of predators.
Yeah.
That's what we live in. We live in a world that protects predators, period. On all levels. Predator doesn't just mean sexual. It's all types of predators.
Mm-hmm.
Those who PREY, not PRAY on others.
Exactly.
So
Methodius says, "Speak, Queen."
Bless. Thank you, King. I appreciate that very much.
This, before y'all get back into the show, this is a cup of Joe and his logo right here, y'all. This is what he does. A cup of Joe, Joseph Humphrey.
That's dope.
Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal.
Oh,
absolutely. Like that's dope. I love it.
Very knowledgeable.
Shout out to a cup of Joe.
Cup of Joe. I'm gonna listen to some jazz.
Absolutely, now. Right?
Put on some Marcus Miller.
We're gonna pull up. So what we got on the agenda tonight?
Man, tonight
you got quite a few things.
I got a couple things. Mm-hmm. You know, first off, I want to go over the workshop. I introduced the new energy in the building. You know.
There we go. Oh, I'm sorry.
You good.
We good.
We got that. And give a hand clap to yourselves for listening, man. People got to kind of respect yourself, man. Like, give yourself a pat on the back.
Man, absolutely.
Come on. I'm going to give myself a hand clap.
Give yourself a hand
clap. Since it's for me, I'm going to leave it on that.
Revel in it.
You know what I'm saying? Bask in your own energy.
That's right.
I'm going to say this and I'm going to get to this, man. You said that you wouldn't change anything. But you got to give yourself a hand clap for recognizing where you was doing wrong and where you're at now. Yes, you see what I'm saying? And I think everybody's experienced something in life to where at one point they might have been low on the totem pole. And now, despite what popular thought is or what people thinking, you might not be a millionaire. You're not there no more.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to give yourself respect. Like, if nobody else going to give it to you, give it to yourself, man, because you deserve it. If you believe you deserve it, you deserve it.
Absolutely.
So everybody do that every day, man. Not just when you watch the show, man. Every day, wake up and tell yourself, damn, I'm dope.
That's right.
Give yourself a hand clap. You know, Mr. Humphrey got his brokerage. I'm sure he started out as a real estate agent.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So
well, you gotta, okay, if you can't respect the process and the steps, and why you walking? You didn't come out your mom walking. You're not a giraffe. You didn't just fall out and you went instantly into walking. It was a process for you to walk. You respect the process that you know how to walk. Respect the process of everything else.
Exactly. So you can't do that, man. You're not going to be walking too far. You know, ain't no roads going to be paved. You're not going to pave any roads for yourself. Let me say that. So give yourself, man, a hand clap. Because once you got that, like she said earlier, they don't want no brothers and sisters that ain't got no self-respect.
No, that's right.
So
That's right.
recap, we're gonna go over the women's workshop. We're gonna go over what we talked about last week, real quick, reparations, and then we're gonna talk about, keep this on your mind real quick while we're talking. What does it mean to be woke? Like, what does it mean to be a revolutionary? What does it mean to be spiritual? Even for my super religious or religious, whatever people are, what does it mean to be a Christian? What does it mean to be Islamic? You know, think about what the definition of that is before we get into it, because I feel like as I ponder around this earth, people just say it. Oh man, I'm woke. I'm pro-black. I'm a real black man. I'm this. I'm that. And I'm like, I get to thinking like, all right, what are your qualifications?
That's right.
Just because you can quote me a book or not even the book, you can quote me a couple words on a page in the book, or something you saw on one of these social media sites, and you know, so and so did this, whatever it is, or you can quote a couple verses out of a chapter of the Bible, or the Quran, or the Kabbalah, or whatever it is that you read.
Yep.
What qualifies you to have that title? I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna go on a recap. When you see a doctor, right?
Right.
You're gonna ask him for medical advice. Hey man, I've had this cough, doc. What kind of doctor are you? You know what I'm saying? What'd you go to school for? These are questions. And they can't answer that. You're gonna be like, wait, hold on. I don't know if you're a doctor or not.
Right.
You know, if you're an esthetician, you're gonna be like, hey, can you give me a facial? You know, if you
what's best to use for my skin?
Exactly. You know,
I'm looking for your expertise.
Exactly. They got qualifications, even to bring it to the street. If you say you part of one of these street gangs and you don't know how to do the handshakes, you can get hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even for the other gangs, the cops. If you over here impersonating the cop and you don't got the qualifications and the badge and everything, you can get beat up or arrested. And
Absolutely, definitely both.
You know, that's why I say each gang, the whatever you want to call the Crips or the cops. You know what I'm saying? Both gangs.
That's right.
So, well, I want everybody to keep that in their head, man. Everything will be done by respecting the process. Exactly.
That's right.
So keep that in your head.
I told you that's method to the thoughts right there. I told you.
You know, I just read that again. Everything done well will be done by respecting the process and perfecting the principle. That's true.
That's so true.
That kind of falls into what I'm saying. That's very true. So think about that. What are your qualifications personally? You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to push any, but think about yours personally, because that's what matters. And then we're going to get into that. So the workshop.
Okay. So let me just tell y'all, the workshop was amazing. It was a whole bunch of brilliant women coming together, sharing their experiences. So they shared their varying experience about the subject of experiencing domestic violence and overcoming that, though, right? Not just sitting in it, not just pimping the pain of it, all of those things that could possibly come from it, but overcoming it. First of all, to overcome it, sharing your story is a layer. It's a layer to healing, y'all. It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. And every time you met with a new challenge regarding that subject or experience, that's another layer. You're like, wait a minute. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this or not. So those ladies came with a host of sharing their stories, their accomplishments, their resources, their methods to healing. And it was dope. It was a dope experience. The energy was good. It was positive. Oftentimes we can run away from those particular experiences because when you get there, you are thinking it's going to be an entire day of woe is me.
Yeah.
This is what happened to me, and just a very low energy vibration. We're gonna stay here, we're gonna cry, we're gonna talk about I know that girl, this, that, and the third, and probably somewhere some type of masculine bashing going on, all that kind of stuff. It was Nothing of the sort.
Hmm.
It really was about moving forward, healing, and know what those things look like, what that process looks like, what women either who are living in wholeness or have the goal to reach wholeness looks like. And that was absolutely dope. And they had some serious experiences and stories to share. And anytime someone has experienced that, male or female, it's always going to take you down a road because you're going to listen to their story. Oftentimes, when people tell us stories, they're right back in that moment, kind of like when you hear a song that brings you back and you like that you're there no matter how long ago it was.
Yeah.
So it does take a lot for that experience to be shared. But every time you share it, there's a healing principle to it if you allow it, because you have the choice to not allow it. You have the choice to stop it. So it was great. And shout out to Sister Victoria, all the ladies who participated, shared their story, or were there vending. There were some wonderful ladies and the bomb lemon cake was in the building. Oh my God.
Buttercream cakes.
Woo!
That was the name of it, right?
Yes, that cake was so. I ate it. My niece and I both rushed to the car because I had left it in the car. We was talking about the day, and we was like, and then we had boom, 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 boom. We raced each other to get to the car to get that cake out the car. So shout out to all the beautiful, brilliant women who participated on any level, even just being in attendance. Shout out to all of those beautiful ladies. It was brilliant. And I look forward to any of the upcoming events that these ladies put on because it was done on that level.
Now, I'm not going to give in to the stereotype. Maybe 15 to 20 black women was there?
Actually, it was about 25.
20, so about 25 to 30?
Yep.
And everybody came out hugging each other.
Yep. And helping.
Yeah.
And it was almost like you was at your family's house.
Exactly.
Because everyone participated in putting things together, putting things out, breaking things down. It was dope until the very end. And that's how it's supposed to be, because we're supposed to be a part of a community all the time. Not just some of the time, all the time.
And they weren't just talking about it. I like action. Now, I was in there just for a little bit, and then I went to go play with the kids. But I saw the unity riding up and down the elevator.
For most of the women not knowing each other.
Exactly.
It was very, very natural, very dope, very authentic. Yep.
And you're right. It wasn't no fakeness. Like, y'all remember on Friday?
Yeah, because you could.
Hey, girl, hey,
girl, hey.
Yeah,
it was none of that. None of that at all.
Yeah, but that was dope. I gotta bring something up. You were gonna do the meditation, right? So yeah, I'm walking to the car, right? Because I was looking forward to the meditation. I didn't get to see it. But my wife had told me, she said, man, I can't tell you word for word what she said. Because you told me that you didn't do it. I was like, oh, dang. And you said something. I was like, oh, snap. You know, you got kids around. You're trying to listen and make sure they're not jumping in the street trying to play with the cars.
Uh-huh.
I was like, wait, what? Because you said you had to get rid of the negativity.
Yep.
You had to do something else. My wife was like, yo, what she said was so dope that it was true. So you're a soul coach. Give them a fragment of the knowledge on why you didn't do the meditation like you were going to do. Like,
so I was on the ticket to as meditation. I'm a soul coach, and a soul coach is because I don't believe in life coaching per se. I believe in personal development, but not life coach. I can't. Your mama, your daddy, your aunties, and them gave you life lessons, school, the streets, to live your life. If that didn't pan out, then it's something else. So I can't do anything to help you with your life. But what I do as a soul coach is partner with you to help you make that round trip back to your soul. You connect to your soul, I guarantee you will do whatever you need to do in your life. And that's it. We do a lot of curing what's on the outside, and we don't do anything about what's on the inside. And if we don't do anything about what's on the inside, it affects the outside. Eventually, it's going to show up. I don't care how much you cake it on, bake it on, it's going to show up. Let your liver stop functioning and see if it don't start showing up. Let your heart stop functioning. Your body is going to say something is wrong here, and no matter how much you ignore it, it's going to start coming out. Your pores, your eyes, everything about you is going to start to look and appear differently. It might take longer before it shows up, but it's going to show up regardless.
Yeah.
So leave food in your refrigerator and see if it won't start to smell. Of course it will, because everything has to break down to decay. Now, what you choose to do with the decay is on you. You could live in your flesh as it decays, or you could do something about it. So everybody wants the hot 16 is what I call it. I say we go to church all the time. They're going to give you the hot 16. It might be the Jigga Man version, or it might be the Holy Man version, but it's a hot 16 regardless. It's a whole thick Bible full of things to learn, and your whole life you get about this hot 16. So,
what's up,
meditation, Chris? Everybody was expecting.
Yeah.
And what I gave them was a real quick TED talk. Hey, listen, ladies. You give life and birth out of two orifices, your mouth and your vagina. If you ain't got them together, you will continue, no matter what you do, to spew whatever is negative. It don't matter how much peace, how many candles, incense, sage, blah, 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 how many conversations. If you don't deal with that, the you of you, everything you touch is going to be tainted. The most holiest of the holy, y'all already know, because whatever synagogues, churches you go in, you see the mess. You see the whole mess. Walking through the church doors ain't clean it up. I'm not exactly sure what you think meditation and sage is going to do. Dirty is dirty. You can't get rid of dirty until you clean it. Try putting perfume on your funky behind and see how that work out.
Straight up.
Stank is stank. So they were a little shocked because the lady was like, oh, I thought she was going to do a meditation. You want me to help you as a soul coach produce more of what's foul in you? I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm dedicated to what I do. What I do doesn't come from anybody but my ancestors. I had to breathe into this. I had to receive and accept this because I fought it for decades. If you don't accept you, everything you have on the outside of you has been tainted. Y'all know rich people. Y'all know people who have had money. Everything. They had everything they wanted. And you still be like, why you still here though? Because you still, wherever you go, there you are. So if you funkified on the inside, you want to take. Y'all remember Charlie Brown? Everywhere that little dirty kid went, that little dust kept following him, right? Your little dust keep following you. You can't own that away. Linus, yes. You can't own that away. You gotta own it away. Own her ish. You gotta own it, baby. And until you do that, you will continue to reproduce what you think nobody can see. You see a lot of people with their kids is telling on them. They ain't gotta say nothing. And their actions and everything, they're showing it.
That's
most of our early years, as you were speaking about, brother, we sloughing off our parents ish. We uncovering theirs, then we get to ours, then we immature in it. It is a process, like the brother said. You have to respect it. You have to respect the principles that come with it. If we just add a whole bunch of methodologies and treatment on top of it, it's like getting massages and going to physical therapy, but you don't do nothing to change anything else, like your weight, how you eat, or all these other things that's contributing to your aches and pains. Right. I'm not sure where we think that stuff goes.
Right.
Everything that is created by God tells you it's like math, right? You could add 1 + 1 forward and backward, it's still going to equal 2. It's still going to balance itself out. No matter what philosophies you put on it, it's still going to equal 2.
True.
Backwards and forward.
Huh.
And so that's it. So I didn't give them the moment another sister stepped in and did it. But for me, I am, you know better, you do better. I can't negate what I know. I'm charged with sharing that information. We, as the women who give birth, have to stop giving birth to death. The narratives that are out here for us as Black women, our Black men, our Black families, our Black communities, we regurgitated that over and over and over again from this orifice. And we solidified it with the lower half, the second part of our orifice. Can't do that. And then we can't come and put perfume on the stank. That ain't gonna work. So that's my piece on that.
On that note, I have to say this because I say it all the time. A lot of women, and I'm not gonna pick on women, men too, men and women. They do everything they can to fix the outer person.
That's right.
But be ugly is all HE double hockey sticks on the inside, and I'd be like, you're getting all these BBLs and dressing all in designer clothes, and you're doing all this and all that, but you ugly as hell inside, you know. And then they wonder why they single, because you ugly inside. You ugly. People see that.
That pretty car sitting on them cinder blocks because that engine don't work don't help nobody unless I drive down your block and see that pretty car sitting there.
Nah.
If that engine ain't working, you ain't going nowhere.
You ain't going to a damn place.
You going nowhere.
You
so
know, to add on to what both of y'all are saying, I've talked to women that were like beautiful, right? Not saying my wife and nobody knows beautiful at the time, you know, based off looks. I saw some pretty good looking women. Then I get to know, and I'm like Malcolm said, you ugly.
Yeah.
Like you have a very bad attitude and a very negative outlook on life. And I feel bad for you. On the flip side, I've talked to some beautiful women and being not having any self-esteem. I started asking questions. I'm like, yo, why are you talking to me? You can talk to anybody you want to right now. Like, why is you messing with me, yo? Like, for real. They were like, you got conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and
everything is not as much about the looks as we would like to believe.
I learned that.
It really isn't.
And a lot of people say, well, she is beautiful. Why is she with that ugly dude? Or man, he fine. What he doing with that ugly chick?
Yeah.
A lot
of times it be what's in here.
That's right.
Man, I learned that coming up, man. I'm like, yo, some of these women, I'm like, and like I said, it went both ways.
Absolutely.
I talked to them and I'm like, and my partners would ask me, you know, I had them crazy partners back in the day. Dude, why you stop talking to her? Was like,
there was no substance.
Nothing.
For
it
me.
Was exactly.
Yeah.
I've always been someone who connect to you mental. Like I like pillow talk before we even got under the covers. That's always how I've, pretty much been. Even though when I was immature, I still like to chop it up with you.
That's right.
I was that cat sitting on your porch. I was cool with that. Just like, look, shoot, what you think about this? What you think about before you had YouTube? What you think about this book?
That's true. It's all that's the shallow end. That's that low vibration, that low frequency that a lot of people like to live in, and you miss out on a whole bunch of things. But to your point, there's a whole bunch of single women, single for a lot of reasons. Those are some of them, but it's a lot of reasons, just like it's a whole bunch of single men. I just had a conversation with my friend. She was like, I'm tired of people talking about why women single. And I was laughing because she made a good point. It's a lot of single people for reasons that they could help, they could fix if they want to.
True.
Everybody thinks they're missing out on something, but if you connected to yourself and you found yourself, you would gladly get into that exchange versus what's that old girl entanglements. You would get into exchanges versus entanglements.
I have a disclaimer. I wasn't picking
Oh
on.
no, I know.
I wasn't picking on everybody.
Yeah, you were.
I was no.
I'm just messing with you, man.
I wasn't picking on everybody that's single. I'm picking on the ones that sit around. I'm not talking about the ones that are single because it's just where I am in. That's where I am in life. You know that happens sometimes. I'm talking about the ones who sit around thinking they're high and mighty and wondering why they're single.
Yep.
Why? I'm all this and all that. I got a good job. I got a good car. I got my hair's always done. My nails always done. And I wear Gucci and I do that. And I'm single. And I'd be like, what's that here? You know?
Man.
I mean, because you could find people to date those things. That's like when men used to approach, they approach with the things that they have, but then you not understanding why that's all that she's interested in. If I meet you, hi money, hi Mr. Corporate America, hi Benz,
yeah.
hey Audi. Right. Oh, I'm sorry, you said your name is Tom. My bad. That's all you introduced to me, though. Yeah. You have not yet introduced who you are to me. You haven't revealed it, which everybody likes to say that that's a confidence issue, but confidence is fleeting. It's not something that you have all the time. You could be a confident person and the right situation, right talk or something change your confidence in that instant. So it's not that, it's more than that. It's that you haven't gotten comfortable with yourself. You haven't sat with yourself and be like, I just love me some me.
Right. I advise everybody, man. You know what? I got so used to being by myself that I actually enjoyed it. Like I was like, yo, I really don't want no one to come over. I got my plan. I got my little videos lined up. I bought my tapes. They just arrived today. I'm about to watch these joints. I'm about to get me a joint.
You gotta be careful about
yeah,
that.
you know, and you'll mess up and get surrounded with yourself and be like, damn, I'm not letting nobody in.
When I was younger, that was one of the reasons. When I was younger, like all the ladies was buying their own home in their 20s, right? And I was like, yeah, nah, I can't do that. Because I'm a further solidify who I already am. And then where am I going to have room for him? And I know some people say that doesn't make sense, but it made sense to me. Because after I set all these things up, and I watched it that happen to a lot of women. My house, my car, my blah, 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 blah. I was like, nah, I'm going to have to let us get this together. Yeah. Because if we don't get it together, I am going to be walking in something that is going to be a repellent.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that. So you got to be careful.
You do.
You got to be careful because you're going to have to be mature enough to understand how you balance all of those things out. True. Even when we talk about being single as ladies and having our toy chest and things like that, you got to be careful. You can't make these things a replacement.
Yeah. I'm going to say this and we're going to get to the things to add on to what you said. I didn't want to get rich until I had a woman by my side. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yes.
I didn't do this radio show until I got with her. I didn't do it because I didn't want to get to a certain level in life. I know me. I love me. I know me. I already know how I'm going to be. Once I get to that level, I'm going to have a hard time trusting whoever come at me.
That's it.
One of the reasons now, for this started in high school, why I never shaved, because I would get women when I shaved up and looked all nice and everything, but it would be superficial. When I didn't shave and women still talk to me, we ended up having a dope friendship. When I wasn't trying to look all fly, I passed up on some good friends too, because I was so worried about anyway. But anyway, like you were saying, I understand why you don't go further, because you want someone to do this with you.
Yep, let's do this together so I ain't over here.
Exactly.
And like you said, key thing, I know myself.
Yeah. I
know myself. And so when you know yourself, just like when you know anything else, you have different things that you maneuver in a different way. And that is when you putting your own hands on everything. Because then as you mature, things change. You learn to maneuver differently. It's not all about just you, right? There's a higher self.
Exactly.
There's a higher thing that you answer to and all that kind of stuff. But at first, I was like, I sit in here and get all this stuff. I'm gonna be looking at dudes sideways. Like,
yeah.
What? What you got? What you coming with? What you doing?
Exactly.
And I didn't want to do that. I don't want to wrestle with myself like
that. Yeah, I definitely did that. I know exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, everybody love yourself, man. Love yourself, and if you are single, don't listen to all the chatter outside, because
Don't
don't. It's
all
not,
of that. Ain't no men. Blah blah blah. Don't do
yeah,
that. Don't do that.
don't buy into the job, man.
Nah, don't
Turn
believe
off
the
that
hype.
job. Yeah, don't believe the hype. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't turn on social media. Don't watch Tyler Perry movies. Not knocking Tyler Perry, but some of the movies that'll make it puts us against each other. To it, not all of them. Don't. I like the Big
No.
Mama effect in there. I love seeing Big
No,
Mama.
but
take
that's
care of
true.
everything. But it's like I watch some of those things, and it'll start male and female bashing conversations. Because once you start a male bashing one, a female bashing one's going to develop.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying?
Of course.
Well, you say we don't do this. You don't do this, and it's like whoa. How did we get here?
And you gotta. It's easy to get in those battles.
It is.
It can get really easy, even for the best of them, the most woke, the most this, the most that, the most holy. It's easy to engage and get that fire started where you being combative and going back and forth. And you really got to be mature that even if you start, you be like, hey, oh, okay. I give.
Yeah.
Somebody got to call uncle.
Yeah.
Somebody got to raise it. Somebody got to say time out. We had no need, no business. And then actually have a conversation.
Real.
Yeah, actually,
Admit
get
your
to why am I
insecurities.
so we ain't doing this again.
Exactly.
Why did I go there? Why did I see fit? Because something sparked a rage in you Yep. So yeah. Y'all love on each other though. That's all I'm saying. Love is great. Love on each other. Don't run away from it. Don't hide. Don't push it away.
Man. All the greats told you love.
Sure did.
Whether it be Malcolm or Gandhi, all of them said, man, love yourself, or Krishna, whoever you believe.
The greatest of these is love. All the things you do, the greatest is love. If you do it in mahogany, that's what she talked about, right? When you get rich and famous, and at the end of the day, all you want is love. Yeah. What good is it without someone to share it with? As poppycock when they be out here trying to preach to you, single, especially for my sisters. Please don't believe the hype. All that single, strong black woman stuff. I don't even know what they talking about. That is insidious.
Same with the brothers, man. Stop trying to be a player, man. It's like, I gotta have me 2 or 3. You can't handle yourself. But like you said, don't believe the hype, man.
I hate to say this, but I'm gonna say it. So all the brothers who think you gotta have 2 or 3 because you are uncontent, because here Brooklyn's gonna say, I don't condone men who marry multiple women. I don't disown men, black men, or any man who has multiple married women, is married to multiple women. I can't get my words right. Because, and whatever it's called, whatever the labels are, there is a principle that goes along with it. But running around here just to smash and dash and do all these kinds of things. Yeah. My G, you, my friend, are still enslaved.
Man.
When they took you from stable to stable to procreate for the business, the factory.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
So since you a stud out here procreating children all over the world, you're gonna have to answer for that at some point. So, and I understand, because there's a lot that goes into that. That's what you believe is your manhood and your masculinity. I'm gonna tell you to find something else. It is out there. Your manhood doesn't lie in all the women you can smash. I promise you it's not.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just as nasty as when women do it. So stop just making it be like they nasty. No, you nasty too.
I agree with that. How can the woman be nasty and you putting your stuff in there? It takes 2 to tango.
I'm just confused about that. I've been confused about that all my life.
I've always said that. Like, man, these women hoes. Would you knock her down? Hell yeah. Well, then you a hoe too.
These babies ain't getting created by themselves. So yeah. you hoeing unpredictably. You got 10 kids. That means at least 10 times you was roaming around here real naked. So I'm not sure how you don't think that's nasty, but it's nasty.
That is.
Yuck.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't get your chicken and put it in the trash can, put it in the water, put it in the garbage disposal, put it back in. Come on, man. You gotta clean it off, cook it. Do what you're gonna do to it.
You were speaking of Medea earlier, so I'm gonna say, stop being nasty. Sit down.
Yeah, for real.
Is that Mr. Brown?
Brown did say that. Yeah,
Stop being nasty. Yep. Sit down.
And respect your penis, man.
Please.
You know what I'm saying? You're more valuable. Same with the women, but I'm speaking to the men. When you don't dip it in everything, you got more of a
far greater of worth.
Then you
far
do
greater.
When you can say, I've done that. When you reach a certain maturity level, you're gonna be like, why did I do that? Why did I do this? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
and that's understandable. We all process and now you differently. I'm just saying, if you still doing you still roaming like that, like until the day you die, that's unfortunate. It looks real silly. It's corny. It's so corny. Like that's you old cats out here still digging up worms and planting seeds. That joke is gross. It's not a good look. It's not sexy. It's not sexy.
Shoot.
You were getting clowned. I promise you. Even if you fine and got money, you getting clowned. I swear you are.
That is true. I've heard some of those conversations.
Yes. They not nice.
I gotta walk out for them. I'm like, yeah, man, let's go catch a beer.
Yeah.
For you. I'm not even gonna discuss what I just heard. Shoot. Women could be so precisely.
Yeah, it could get really bad. I've been like, ooh, church finger. That hurt my feelings.
Yeah. I'm like, oh man. I thought to look at the man different. Like, oh, let's leave, man. I don't even want to.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that.
What's up, Chris? What up, Ja? I seen Ja in here. I seen Chris.
Hey, Ja.
She said, I'm used to being around people to cut everyone out of my life. Now I'm getting to know myself more and able to focus on myself and my health. People are telling me it's unhealthy to cut everyone out of my life. I disagree right now. I understand it's necessary to heal it's not forever that those are meant to be in my life. I believe we'll be back once again. Yeah, I dig that, man. You gotta bask in your own essence and don't listen to what everybody is saying, because what everybody is saying, those words are always gonna be there. You got to do what you feel is right for you. Like
that's right.
And I've had to learn
because you respect yourself.
Yeah, like even my mama sometimes when she says stuff to me, I'm like, okay, I got you. But I can't let you get into my atmosphere because I'm going somewhere that maybe you don't understand, whatever, where I'm going.
And that's okay.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. There's nothing wrong with doing it. Exactly. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with doing what you think is right for you. That's actually the genuine thing to do. I don't like saying right or wrong, but that's the genuine thing to do.
Yeah.
So, or the conscious thing or whatever.
I mean, like, think about it. If you don't, then how do you give something to somebody else that you don't give to yourself? I find it hard to believe people love you if they don't love themselves. How do you give to me something you've never experienced from yourself? How do you have, like, one of the exercises I would have a client do is to tell me 3 or 5 of their favorite love songs. Like that you would literally call a radio station and have dedicated to somebody or something, right? Now sing those in the mirror to yourself. If you don't feel the same way, you giving something to somebody you can't even give to yourself.
For real.
If I don't feel that pain of being detached from me and brokenhearted from me, how I feel it for you? What? So true. And what is it that I'm giving to you? I'm literally trying to get it from you because it's missing from me. Kind of like the way you take iron when your body is deficient of it, right? And it'll crave things like ice or something like that. I'm trying to pull out. That's why another reason why relationships sometimes don't work, because I need you to give me something I ain't got to give to myself.
That's true.
But I know my body knows that it needs it.
Exactly.
So I'm pulling on you for it. That's not fair.
Yeah, it's not.
That's not fair.
That's where mommy and daddy issues come in.
Yep.
You know, to an extent.
Yes.
Mommy and daddy issues coming in. It's like, yo, I can't be your daddy, and I don't want to be. And any man that says they'll be your dad, you might want to get out of that relationship right now.
That sounds so perverted.
It does.
That's like ew.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
How am I supposed to feel? Let me get sexy for daddy.
Yeah.
My daddy? My dad?
Yeah,
Ugh.
like,
To each his own.
yeah, for real. So yeah, love yourself, man. Do what you think is right, because your brain is the best tool, best search engine you have. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if you need to search something, go sit in the dark room, go in there, light a candle, do the incense, get the whatever you do, get like the soul coach tell you, get in your soul and figure it out. You feel me?
It's waiting on you. It's waiting on you. It cannot wait to meet you. So go on. Start making that journey.
That's gonna be the best relationship you have in your life.
That's right.
Man, you gonna have so much fun with that.
Bet. Yes,
I found
indeed.
myself, you know, you got to question yourself with these things. In my conscious journey, I'm like, man, do I really care about black people? Do I really care? Or am I just doing this?
Because y'all get on our nerves.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all meaning me and him.
Yeah, for real. Y'all be treating me like that.
All of y'all.
Shoot. But yeah, we got the topic tonight. First, I'm gonna ask you a question. Why'd you agree to come on the show?
Okay, so I agreed to come on the show because my very first experience here was lit. And by that, I mean, I was welcomed. I felt I was safe. It was good conversation. Like it wasn't a struggle. Because contrary to what y'all see here, I'm shy for real. Like I'm really shy. So whenever I can step into an environment that I feel like that, I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's someplace I could be authentically. I won't have to struggle to have stuff that I don't do, like small talk. I don't even have a concept of that. But real conversation.
Can't stand
I can't.
Yeah.
How's the weather?
Yeah.
Shut up.
I don't know. You outside too.
Yeah, you tell me.
Yeah. So when people do that, it was small talk because I'm a native New Yorker. Makes me put my eyebrow like, what you want?
Yeah.
What you here for? What you doing?
Right.
Now I'm looking at you, and you may not. That may not be your thing. Yeah. But because you come in with this, I'm like, yeah, nah. What you doing?
Yeah.
So it's a struggle for me. And then people who over talk, I'd be like, you lying? What are you doing?
Yeah.
You lying? So I came because this is just natural.
Yeah.
And you want to be involved in things that are natural, the same way as you want to eat, drink, and breathe. That's good for my soul.
Okay.
If it's not, then what am I doing? Now
up.
I gotta do a whole bunch of exfoliating after I leave and get it all out and figure out how am I gonna get this off. I do that already several days a week. I don't need to add that to my off time. So yes, and you need that balance too. So that's another thing.
Man, I appreciate that. I'm glad you feel safe, man. I like when the sisters feel safe around me. You know what I'm saying? If they don't feel safe, then I'm doing something wrong. I like my kids to feel safe around me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was raised like that, man. My dad always told me, open the door for them old ladies. Not the old, but you know. I said old lady.
He does. He did. He opened the door for the old lady.
I can't help it, man. And some of them tell me, man, I'm not an invalid. I said, I know you're not, but
y'all gotta stop that right now. That's all. Sorry. Go ahead.
I can't help it, man. Like, I hate to see. I know you can open the door by yourself. You're not dumb. If I thought you were retarded, I would tell you this is how you open the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, but let me treat you the way that I feel about you.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna let you pick up nothing heavy. You know what I'm saying?
And he doesn't. There's a whole bunch of women Saturday, and he helped all of us. He made his rounds. I mean, there was a few we had to be like, no, just stop. And we got to stop that. Nobody is challenging your strength or mental abilities when they're helping you, queens. Nobody's challenging.
No.
I promise. It's because they respect it. So allow men to keep allowing you to preserve yourself, preserve your back, your strength, your mental agility. It's okay. You're gonna have plenty of time in your life to exercise your strength and mental abilities. I swear to goodness you will. True. It's like the work week, 5 days on, 2 days off. Man. You gonna have plenty of time to show how all your muscles and you strong and and all that stuff. Yeah. The times when you don't have to fall back, Mom. Like oh my God. I can't think of I can't. Busta Rhymes says, fall back, Mom, make your lifestyle easy. And baby, if you give it to me, I'll give it to you. That's his line. Yeah. Fall back, Mom, make your lifestyle easy. Let him do that, baby. Let him do that, queen. Okay? Accept it, receive it, respect it. That's it.
I dig that. Yeah, that's true. Anytime a brother do that, sisters, man, let that man, because he's not doing it to hit on you. Yeah. He's not doing it because most of us are not. Most of us are not. Some you got to watch out. They asking for something in return. Like, you know what? It's not that heavy. I can. But no.
Still let them pick it up and carry it, and then carry yourself about your way.
But yeah, do that, man. You know, I did do that. But that's just I'm not gonna let you do that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to fight me on it, that's fine. You know, but I'm still gonna do it. What is the topic? All right. Your platform is so righteous. Salute to the kings who created this cipher. Okay, Jason, what's popping, my man? Yeah, appreciate that. Let's get to the topic. Let's get it. We're gonna have some fun with this because I want to challenge some people.
Hey, Jason.
Topic tonight is, what is the job description? Right, there's a few things in it, but what's the job description of a conscious man, a revolutionary, a warrior, pro-black? What's the other one they got out now? Woke. You know, whatever else they got out. What's the job description of those said titles to a man or a woman? Right? What are the qualifications to become that? I don't always agree with school, because I'll go to holistic doctors real quick. But even the holistic doctors have taken training. Like, I don't consider myself a holistic doctor, but I've taken certain herbs before I tell anybody to be like, this works. Because how am I going to know if it works? I haven't tried it on myself first. So holistic doctors, when they grow the plants and they can tell you how to grow them and what works with this, 99.9% of the time, in my experience, they've done it on themselves, their wives, their kids, and they've been doing it before they even get to you, right? So even holistic doctors, dentists, OBGYNs, surgeons, like I said earlier, cops, all of them, well, they went through some type of training how to kill a nigga. But anyway, cops, even when you join a gang, there's an initiation phase. That's right. You see what I'm saying? Before your house is allowed on the block, you have to put some type of work in. So on both spectrums, what are the qualifications for being a warrior in this thing? And I'm asking that question now. What are your qualifications? What should you have to do? I'm asking that because I see too many people saying that. I ran into too many people telling me, man, I'm woke. You know what it is. You want to give me that? What's up, man? You know what I'm saying?
And then what if I don't know what it is? And how do you know that I know what it is?
Exactly.
What about me? Is it that gay tapping in the bathroom thing? How do you know what signified you? Is it something I'm wearing? Because that doesn't mean anything. Maybe I just like this hair wrap. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't, because everybody assumes I'm Muslim because of that. And I'm like, no.
Exactly.
You made a wrong assumption. But okay. So what is it?
And that's what I want to ask. That's the question I want to put towards, man. Because you know what? Half the time I don't even wear this. I wear it in here. Mm-hmm. And matter of fact, I created my own definition for this unk.
Absolutely.
I can't tell you what it. I've had people ask, what does an unk mean? I say, well, to me,
that's right.
This is why I wear it. This is what it symbolizes to me. This is why I started wearing it. I'll give you an example. The unk to me, when I researched it, I saw the whole story of Jesus and Islam. This was a neutral thing for me. When I wore it, I felt protected by the ancestors. I felt like the hole was a portal. You know, I felt like I felt like this was my badge.
That's right.
This was my flag. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to wear, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have to wear nothing conscious. I could have on a shirt saying I love the white man, and people will still come up to me and say, "What's up, brother?" It's just something about you. I don't know what it is. Like, I know you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to.
Which is good and super dope.
Yeah.
And goes to your question. It for me, when we were asking about this, I think that is the problem. Is that everything is defined. And
for us,
yes, everything has a definition to quantify itself. And if it's not, then it doesn't mean anything to you. All of these things, I think, are nullifying to what your own intuition and systems are. You get further and further away from trusting yourself. There's a whole bunch of people that got all the A, B, C, D, F, G and stuff after their names, and they done did big things on all these platforms. They still full of shit.
Man.
I'm just saying.
That's so true.
I'm saying
that
they couldn't give you a remedy to save their life.
Man,
that's what I was.
They could regurgitate.
That's what I was talking about earlier when people. Let me get myself on the page. Okay, that's what I was telling you earlier. You know, people blow themselves up all out of proportion, but can't come up with any resolutions. So when I actually come up with a resolution, they still put me down. You don't know what you're talking about. I know this and I know that. Well, why aren't we resolving things?
But then also, how were all these things built without all those qualifications before?
They were built without them.
I'm just saying, ain't Massa ain't asked nobody what degree they had to go build that plantation and actually work that farm and make some stuff happen. Ain't nobody asked nothing about picking cotton, building things, and innovating all the tools and the crafts and things that we need and still use to this day. Ain't nobody had. My grandfather left this earth with owing nobody nothing and left something for all 6 of his children. One of which was deceased, but someone who helped take care of him. He put in that 6th place because from the day he came into this world, I take care of 6 kids with a 2nd grade education. So at what point is or is it ain't? There's a whole bunch of degrees and a whole lot of offices and highfalutin cars and highfalutin lifestyles and can't resolve their own self, let alone anyone else. But they can write you prescriptions and regurgitate. Do you know you don't have to be intelligent to get a degree? Because you can read a book and answer questions and pass.
Exactly.
Does that actually mean something? That's no shade to get a degree.
True.
Get the degree. Absolutely 1000%. But don't make it your mantra for what you have and you still can't even trust yourself. Because now you're full of information you can't trust yourself with. Now you sharing that information with a whole bunch of people that you haven't even quantified that information in the first place, or you don't have the discernment mentally, spiritually, or physically to say, yeah, I know that's in that book, but that's bullshit. This is what we gonna do over here.
Exactly.
Like when GPS first started and people were riding into things and off things because they said the GPS told them, you don't have this for yourself. Exactly. Are you kidding me? And I'm sure a lot of them had a lot of big degrees.
You know what? To piggyback on what you said, some of these colleges have been around for hundreds of years, right? Where's the cures to cancer? Now, there's a whole nother conversation on where they at in the patent and all. I'm not getting into all that. Where's the cures to cancer? Where's the cures for AIDS? How come education hasn't been evolved? You know what I'm saying? How come we still have an economic crisis? How long has the dollar bill been around? How come we still have poor people? You can go to school for all these degrees. We got all these millions of people graduating. How come we haven't solved anything on earth? And like you said, how come half of us still don't have self-respect?
Do we know the purpose of a corporation is to quantify and measure, to create quantifiable and measurable things? Because there's a group of people who exist who need that understanding. They can't manage in understanding from knowing and working, knowing and doing. So there are a lot of boxes, but that's why you're cheated out of your own intuition, because we work really hard most of our life to fit in what these boxes are. And then when we don't, we disqualify ourselves.
So conscious people, what are we doing to get rid of those boxes? I think that should be one of the jobs. Like you said earlier, man, there's so many people on these platforms that can come out with a video. 1967, he wrote this book, and the book said this. Now look where we're at now. Thank you for reading time. Thank you for story time. Appreciate that. Where the solutions at? Did you know the Moors did this? That we were called Moor this, and black means this. Okay, so this is why I stopped messing with a lot of groups.
Yes.
This is why I stopped messing with a lot of groups, man, because it was always I used to like to debate until I realized we ain't getting nothing done.
That part, because then my question always is, that's great, that's wonderful to know, and then what?
Exactly.
Because there's a brick is laid. We not gonna.
We not exactly.
Not, there's a baton. There's a race. It's passed. Do I stop right after she passes it to me? There's still a race. Yeah. Do I stop right here? She passed it to me. Am I not gonna move?
I'm gonna sit here and look at.
Yeah. And let's have a philosophical conversation about who made the baton. When did it start?
You know the baton was
how much? Sometimes that conscious, sometimes deep is just too deep. How about that?
It is. I've had plenty of them conversations, staying up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Got quite a few rolled up, and it's like, all right, man, this was dope. I feel semi good. But let's go do something. Let's talk about it tomorrow. No.
I don't want to talk no more.
Exactly. When is enough talking?
No, I'm having a temper tantrum.
Yeah, for real. You know what I'm saying? You know, one is a legit electrician by his man. That's funny. My wife just talking about this. If your lights were prior off to him showing up, but after he left, your lights were bright. LOL. So you know that's it.
You know it. You know it by your works.
Exactly.
Right?
By what you've done.
That's right. By your works is the most quantifying of all. Education is fantastic. But you also got to be careful about how you're being educated, where you're being educated, what you're being educated on. It's like faith is great, but you don't get to just have faith. You gotta actually pull up.
You
gotta actually do some work.
That's true.
Faith without works is what?
Dead. The end.
Was that this show we talked about that? Where I'm very annoyed when people their whole life would be falling apart. The wife left them, husband left them, kids left them. God forbid what I'm about to say, but their mom and dad has passed away, and they lost their job, they lost their dog, and I need help, and everybody, all they have to say is, I'm gonna pray for you. What is that gonna do for me?
I get it.
I mean, in all reality, what is that gonna do for me? I need physical help, I need monetary help, I need a vehicle, I need a job.
Yeah.
Are you gonna put any action towards helping me, or are you just gonna sit over there in your house and pray for me? I can't stand that. I can't stand it.
And that's how the other side of it wins over people, because they show up. They show up. They show up with what you said you needed, right? Or the resource to it. Now I got your ear. Now you listening. Now I could talk to you about some things. Because how do I hear you if my needs aren't met? I might be in your presence, but I ain't hearing you. I'm thinking about everything you said, right? I need more car. I need help. How do I get to hear what you said? If I'm think about listening to somebody when you hungry.
I was just thinking that. It's crazy you said that.
Y'all know that ain't gonna work.
Nah. You ain't trying to hear, man. You're
supposed to meet the need first.
I used to go out in the streets and talk to these cats on the corners, And I stopped because I realized, damn, I can't give y'all nothing right now. I can give you some good words, but I'm tired of giving you good words. I would take them to libraries on the white folks side of town and show them the books that they had over there and be like, this is how you can start a business. They're like, why you haven't started one yet? I said, I'm still trying to figure that out. Some of the stuff I did do, I didn't have the knowledge. I messed up. I never lied and said,
that you did all that.
Yeah. I said, I'm learning with you.
Yeah. And that's possible.
Yeah.
That's because, see, you don't want people to get in the habit of not sharing. I could share with you something that I haven't gotten to yet.
You know what I'm saying?
Right? Because at the same time, faith with works, bless
Excuse
you.
Me. Thank you.
And then also, I might just be the conduit, the vessel.
Mm-hmm.
I may not have to have done it yet. I may be the conduit, the vessel that gives it to you. You double it back and teach me. So all of those things is possible as long as you ain't doing it to death.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn around. That's it. You just keep. Oh, okay. We ain't seen no elevation or nothing changing since then.
And I think we as woke people, we so sleep all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I think we gotta first off, if we see somebody in a bad space, for example, my partner didn't have a car. So I said, man, this is what I can do for you. We don't gotta have no conscious conversation. Who created the car? Am I the black man? I can pick you up on these days.
Mm-hmm.
I can pick you up on these days, and on these days we got a little freedom. I got a little freedom of time, and I'll take you where you need to go in these times. And I think in order to build, we got to do less talking. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we got to discuss some things, but the discussion should. Oh, thank you, Chris. The discussion should take 2-3 hours at the most.
Mm-hmm.
And while we're discussing, we need to be writing down something. We can't consistently be like, just like we've been saying, we can't consistently be debating on who's right, who's not, who did this and who did what. We got to have more action, and I think that's lacking now. Like you said earlier, the electrician. You knew he was a dope electrician when you left, and got you. When he left, and your lights was on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to have more people showing us the electricians and everything. Real quick, they go to family.
Welcome everybody to the Rely Radio Show. Rely is spelled Rauli, and it stands for Uniting. Rely Radio is spelled Rauli, and it stands for rebooting and uniting lost energy. I'm sorry, y'all. That always twists my tongue. Always twists me up sometimes, but it's rebooting and uniting lost energies. One more time, rebooting and uniting lost energy. He spells the word energy INNERGENY. Energy. Why does he spell it that way? I'm gonna let him explain that when he gets back. This is we want you to go and follow the Rely Radio at Rely Radio on Instagram. And this is a very, very deep show. Every conversation on this show is deep. And as you can see, it's a family-oriented show. Family-oriented, that's his son in his arms, his daughter walking out the door, and that's his wife standing in the doorway. And she's a doula, y'all. If you're familiar with doulas, there's something like a midwife. They help you out before, during, and after pregnancy.
That's right.
So this show,
very important.
Very important. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Before we get back into the show, Inyar Zulu, tell our listening audience what this show is really about. Not this particular show, the basis of the show.
Basically, this show, man, rebooting and uniting lost energies. So, you left me? Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Rebooting and uniting lost energies. So what I want to do is everybody possesses that gene or that muscle or that ligament or whatever, that soul, something in their soul that can take them, that brings out that energy to where this earth is false. Or what we're seeing of it, this is the false part. There's the kingdom of heaven is right here. You see what I'm saying? It's right here in front of us. But we gotta acknowledge that part in our body to get to that kingdom of heaven. So, like I said, my process right now is putting those words out, doing the radio show so you consistently hear it during the week. So when it's time to take action, you know what I'm about. You have an idea what I'm about. When it's time to take action, you're like, okay, you see where I'm coming from.
Yes. Yep.
The topics I have, the discussions I have, who I invite on here. I'm not saying I have all the connects to famous people, but I know a couple. But to me, they're not famous. To me, someone like you is famous. Dr. Annette that was on here, that's famous. Because you going out here talking to people and you not getting paid millions of dollars. You doing it from your heart, from your soul. You see what I'm saying? I'm on the radio station. I might not have 10 million viewers, but I might not have 10 million responses when I have these shows. But the 2 or 3 that I did have, those were some dope connections.
That's right.
And that's what I'm doing this show for. If I'm touching something in you, if she's touching something in you, and you want to do something, I always say, hit me up.
That's right.
I'm not going to be on Instagram every day giving you a new message. Give yourself a new message. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that to be selfish, but I don't want to work with nobody who wants to be a part of a fad.
Right. And it's not about empowering people, it's enrichment. When we exchange with one another, we're enriching each other, and that's supposed to continue.
Exactly.
That's supposed to continue on and on and on. You enrich your engine when you give the oil change.
Exactly.
We're enriching. You should already be empowered. If you are looking for people to empower you, you got some work to do.
Exactly. And I'm not going to play that. I think that's manipulation. Absolutely. And appreciate that, brother. The kingdom of heaven is right here. It's right in front of us. I'm going to say this real quick. We don't need no money. Matter of fact, we don't even got to pay an electricity bill, since you're talking about electricity earlier, brother Jason, to have electricity. You know there's about 3 museums on different continents that still have the original light bulb that was created in their particular part of the country?
You know, when I think about different things like that, I take myself out of being a spoiled American, and yes, even though I'm Black and female and it comes with its set of things, I'm still a spoiled American.
Yeah.
So I remove myself. I put myself in a village somewhere to make me think, of course it's possible. It would be ludicrous for me to just think it's possible under these circumstances. When there are people around the world that live under completely different circumstances than myself and get it done. So I always I try my best to take myself and put myself somewhere else that's outside of this territory.
That's conscious. That's woke.
Because it makes me think.
Exactly.
It makes me think, and I don't feel defeated. I'm like, it's possible. I just got to figure my way through it.
Exactly. Some people don't have running water, but drink water every day. Bathe every day when they feel like it. And they don't have no shower getting hooked up and calling the plumber to fix the pipes and all that other, I'm not saying it's nonsense. Like I said, I'm a spoiled American too. But this is even that within itself is hell. We talk about people that don't have it. We have it, and we don't know how to do it for ourselves.
Right.
And I think it's the job of conscious people to push us to be like, hey, man, come with me. Let's build this ourselves.
Yes.
Let's not use these this fakeness around us.
Yes.
This is a big ass WWF pay-per-view.
Most people won't understand how to go about that. That's evidentiary of places like Cuba and Haiti, right? Because when you step out on your own, you will no longer receive milk from the American tin. And that takes a lot.
Yeah.
Right. Especially this is all we know. That takes a lot to cut yourself off. So you have to do a lot of weighing out of what you can and can't live with. I've been going through a process for a long time of living a long time, for about a year or so. Living less, binge watching alternative living spaces, schoolies and tiny houses, because you have to do that type of stuff to at least balance yourself out.
True.
You may not become so quote unquote woke or conscious, but at least to balance yourself out.
Exactly.
At least to not be so overly self-indulged on this end of things. Like no difference than eating chocolate and drinking soda or whatever the case may be. That's fine. Have a little, but keep yourself some balance. Keep
Exactly.
yourself some. So you have to feed yourself, and you got to do it consciously. It has to be a decision that's not readily available. The
True.
nonsense and the junk is available 24/7.
Man.
You got all the access in the world to it.
Mm.
So it is necessary. So all of you all who think differently, do so and share it. Because even if people don't want to hear it or they say, you on that again, it's necessary. It's always going to be necessary. There is not anything about it that's not. Everybody needs it. I used to tell my nephew all the time, you're going to make your decisions, but you'll never be able to say nobody ever told you.
There it is.
What you do with it, that's on you.
That's true. I started telling people, man, I had to start realizing that when I would have conversation with people, I had to, lower my aggressiveness. But I say, man, one thing you can't say about me, about NER, is I never told you.
That's right. I'm going to share it with you.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to let you know, and I'm going to show you. You've seen me do these, which is why I get sometimes how I get treated. You've seen me out here, and it's not necessarily going to pass out food to the homeless, going to have a nice sermon. It's just what I do with brothers, man. I'm going to show you this side of town because I know you will never, ever go to this side of town unless I take you out.
And that is really, really, really important because sometimes, if not but for you and your existence, somebody would know. Everybody, we're these pieces in this puzzle, right? And everybody plays a part. So if we come together, we get to see the big picture. If we don't, we just remain pieces in a box.
Exactly.
That's all. We don't get the full picture. We get glimpses because this little corner might get together, and then a piece of this little sector might get together. So you got that. You get to see that.
Exactly.
But there's a bigger picture.
It is.
There's a bigger picture. I think traveling is beautiful if you can, however you can, because I think that helps delineate ignorance. When you get to see more than what you're told.
Yes.
For yourself.
Yes.
It's not really like that for real. And you get to interact with other people. The job of a woke person is to share their knowledge with their people, to give back to those who come behind them. Absolutely, sis.
That's definitely,
thank you, Queen.
Definitely, yes.
And that's another thing. It's your job. You don't get to hold it to yourself. You don't get to keep it yourself.
No.
There's this artist a long time ago. I think his name is Abyss, a poet. He said, "This life I live ain't for me, it's for you. God gave me gray skies so yours could be blue." Hope I didn't misquote you.
That's dope.
And
true.
I was like, yeah, my experiences are for me. They're not just about me. They're not just for me. They're for me to share. That's why art imitates life. That's why there's speakers. That's why there's writers. That's why there's all these people sharing their experience. Take the Bible. Literally, the Bible has all of these different names because it is the story of their accountants with Jesus Christ. That's why I got all these names. This how Job rocked it and experienced Jesus. This is how Malachi. This is how all these different people, James. This is how everybody did all of this.
Exactly.
That's all. That's why it's similar to you or somebody else.
Exactly.
There's something in all of us because all we do is keep repeating the same stuff over and over again.
That's it.
That's all we do. So it's beautiful if you let it. It's always about transforming what one finds valuable. If a person's personal view of self lacks value, self-delusion only requires a trinket, aka hood juju, in the form of ego that burns out quick.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chief. Love you. Real quick, super quick, like to make your head spin type of quick. Absolutely.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you don't,
why that made me think of DMX. When I did quick, I thought that click.
You must be listening to DMX recently.
I wasn't, but it went right in my head. I was like, oh, I got a little DMX spirit going on real quick.
Speaking of X, you know why he's one of the dopest rappers or X or you know what? It's the energy. some of these cats could get on, X can get on there and say, I wipe my ass with sand. But the way he's saying it, you're like, damn, I'm gonna get some of that sand.
Because you're not sure if he's cussing you out, telling a story, or giving a sermon.
Exactly.
You just be like, wow.
Yeah.
That was amazing. But that's because he wasn't in the box. And people like to call, a lot of people, we perceive those things to be crazy, but you got to be careful about how you label people as crazy, because that spirit that they operate in that depth of energy that they're in is bigger than you probably can understand.
Exactly.
Hell, it's bigger than they probably can understand.
For real.
Right? And they're just processing it through. That junk, he breathed that.
Yeah.
Naturally. There's a big difference.
It's always crazy until it happens.
There's a big difference.
You know what I'm saying? So that's true. Stop calling folk crazy, man. Just because you don't understand what's going on don't mean
hey Olivia
that they crazy. We got a few people in here. Jason, Chief, Olivia. What's up, everybody?
Yeah, you got to be careful about that for sure.
Yeah, don't be calling people crazy, especially if you don't understand what they're saying.
Yep.
But
ask them, spend some time with them. You never know what you might get. Stop calling people crazy. Oh, all of that stuff. Stupid. I mean, stop doing all of it. And honestly, it ends up being a reflection of yourself. But and there are some really, truly some bona fide crazy people.
Yeah.
but we want to be careful about how loosely we do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's also very serious. Your mental health is extremely serious.
Sometimes somebody's giving you some real genuine knowledge, like wisdom, like something that can help you, and you call them crazy, and it's making them retract how they feel and what they say. I've dealt with that myself. Some of my family members and friends be like, yo, man, you crazy. You always quoting this guy and telling us to do this, and you go out here. I had a guy call me crazy one time because I was growing an aloe plant, and I didn't have no lotion. So I'd break off the aloe plant, but I said, man, never seen nobody actually use a damn plant and rub it on them. That's some crazy shit. And I was like, do you want some? Like, do you want, feel it? Mm-hmm. So you not in this headspace.
Wow.
But you'll make, like, just an example, what I could think of. You'll call someone crazy for, like, doing something that you're not used to. Or that you're not.
It makes you feel uncomfortable because you're not used to it.
Exactly.
So then that means we got to do a better job at not reacting to those types of things and comments.
True.
And maybe saying, I mean, I can show you if you want me to,
because there we go.
I understand maybe it's making you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We got to do better at that. I'm saying that out loud and record it so I can hear myself back. Hey, Lisa. So I can hear myself back as well. Like,
what's up, Lisa?
I gotta do a lot better at responding, because my knee-jerk reaction probably would be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I would probably be annoyed.
Yeah, I used to be like that too until I started saying, hey man, just try it.
Yeah.
Like, I got it. As a conscious person, right? Let's just use that term, conscious. As a conscious person, you have to be conscious of who you're talking to.
Yes.
So you can't expect your words to fall on everybody the same way.
That's true.
Some of it might be rain and it might drown you.
That's true.
You know, some of them, like you said earlier, might be penicillin and it might heal you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be conscious of what you're saying and to whom you're saying it to.
So don't be Oprah with your consciousness. You get a wake up call. You get a wake up call. You get a wake up call. Might not be for them. Be careful how you pull up on people with your truths and your consciousness, and it can be hard. And then I have a question for y'all, and on the real, the quote unquote conscious deep woke. Do y'all really think that we want it? do I learned that ignorance was bliss because of this.
Man.
I was like, oh, what they're saying is it's much more comfortable. It's just an easier life to just check out and not know. Because the only thing that makes the difference between any of us and any of the others of us is choice. You choose to take and receive what you're given. You choose to accept your gifts. No one, not your ancestors, living and deceased and unknown, are going to force those gifts on you. They're going to keep showing up. But you're going to have to choose to receive them. So when we choose to receive them, it's a lot. It took a lot. I came kicking and screaming. I ain't finna lie.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. Look, I snapped on so
I
many
ain't
people.
finna lie. I yeah. It was a fight.
Yeah.
I don't want it. Cause of people reject you, man. They don't be showing you no love for
Not
real
at
sometimes,
all.
especially your family.
Woo!
Oh God, here she come again with this.
Woo!
Or they say
Woo!
something and they be like, I already know what you about to say. No, you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you
I
don't.
don't know what I'm about to say. I had to stop talking to people sometime, man. You know what? Not talk. I had to stop responding
Yes.
as often.
Yeah.
When they would have conversations, like I remember the as I got more mature, I don't like the age is irrelevant to me. When people would say stuff before I came into the age of this knowledge, or when I came into it, they were like, "Yeah, you know, why you voting? Why you voting? Da, 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 da. This law only mean this, and how's it helping you? Blah blah blah." Now I just sit back and listen to people.
Yeah.
You know, I just sit back and listen. And if you ask me what my thoughts are on it, I'm a lot more precise and accurate.
Yeah.
And I always make it, because before I didn't care what you thought.
Yeah.
Man, look, let me tell you this.
I was super immature too. Yep. I was super
Fuck what
immature.
you think. What you thinking is stupid. Let's be real. Why do you even think that? Do you have a brain? Don't get mad at me because I'm keeping it real. All that. And then now it's like, you know what? What y'all saying, everybody has their point. Everybody's at different points in their life. What I'm trying to say is this, and this.
Right, which is a great time for this. Hold up. I'm that point that you made. We live in a perfect time for that right there. We have been affected by mentally dysfunctional society that has convinced us that other people are saying facts. But when we are the ones looking through magnifying glass, we discover who is truly crazy.
True.
Those are real facts. To your point of what you said, we live in a perfect time. This is one of the things I love about this time. Everybody doing everything. For me, this is my time to shine. Before, I used to be an anomaly, but since we switching body parts from day to day, surely I could say something that's deep.
Yeah,
it's hilarious to me since we partners. We got all these letters. For this, I'm going on record for saying this. For this to be the generation and time in society that is so hell bent on being non-judgmental. Y'all got more categories for shit than we ever had in our life.
Man,
we was either gay or straight.
That's it.
We was up or down. We was left or right. Yeah, I ain't never seen how you take vagina, split it in half, turn it back into a penis, dress like a girl, and then call yourself a boy. I ain't never seen so many gumbo lives in my life. So at the very least, I definitely could show up with a little word or two, drop a gem here and there.
Yeah.
This is the most fantastic time for those reasons. For the reasons of this is the most time I've ever seen people be such ageist, right? About you old. We didn't grow up doing that like that, right?
Damn.
But here's the funny part. You saying I'm old once you know my age, but then you look old and then I know your age. I'm just saying. We have never been in this is a wonderful time. I'm like, really,
that's
is that
true.
what you really? We could play the dozens hard in this day and time.
Yeah, that's true.
Because y'all this day and time, and I say y'all because it's everybody. It didn't have nothing to do with ages or anything. That's another reason why it's a great time. This is our time to shine in these conversations in a real way if we choose to. This is also the time for conscious, woke people. Show your worth, baby. Put your money where your mouth is.
For real.
This is your time.
Yes.
Because this is, if you ain't seen this time to do some real work in all your days.
Now, if not now.
If you can't see the workers of iniquity happening, if you can't see the pop culture happening, if you can't see the waywardness, and if you can't see this is my time. When I decided to go back to school for cybersecurity, people would say, "Wow, you too old."
Wow.
I was like, "Whoa, so does the age on learning?"
Yeah, for real.
I'm not exactly sure how that works.
Yeah, for real.
I sat in this class, mostly guys because it's tech. Definitely not black women, but the other female in my class is I forget which country she's from real quick, but she was not white.
Huh.
So she and I both in the category of non-white
Yeah.
females, which we became cool. But I sat there still being the oldest one.
Mm-hmm.
When they got to teaching coding, I looked up to my professor. He was like, "How did you get that so quickly?" I said, "That's nothing but MS-DOS." He said, "What?" I said, "It's my time, baby." I was around when they started computers,
For real,
right? So
for
there's
real.
so before I could press a button, we used to have to put in the work
Man.
to get the answer.
Yes.
So I was like, "Oh yeah, okay,
Yes.
I can do this."
That's true. You know what?
And it's my perfect example of that.
That's true. But they didn't even
Don't
allow
throw it away.
calculators in my class. You couldn't use. They had them.
Yes, but you couldn't
You
use
couldn't
them,
use them.
which
You-
is why you keep showing up.
Yeah.
Y'all got all these things and you can't count back my change, baby. You got all these tools and you can't count back my money. If it don't work, if this machine don't tell you how much to give me back, you don't know how much money to give me back. I'm confused. What's happening?
And I'm old.
Right.
I'm
I ain't never been so happy to be
Yeah,
old.
that's true.
It works.
That's true.
I ain't never been so happy to be old, to be female, to be black, to be conscious, to be woke, to be whatever it is
Yeah,
that it
for
is.
real.
I ain't never been so happy.
That's true.
These times have shown me to love that, to love all that I ever was able to garner, to learn before a lot of the people who aren't here anymore left. These times, if ever before, I couldn't be more proud to be
That's
where
true.
I'm from, knowing what I'm knowing, experience what I've experienced. So for me, in our topic, you call it anything you want.
Yeah.
You call it anything you want.
Anything.
I'm here for it.
True.
But what you can't do is take none of it away from me. And I wouldn't take nothing from my journey now.
You know, let's circle back to what we were saying earlier. You shouldn't want to take away nothing that happened to you back then.
That's right.
Because a lot of the so-called old people or old school, and I be telling people, man, if I told you my age, you wouldn't be calling me old. Like, I'm really not old. I'm a youngster in comparison to my OG, my elders or whatever. Like, and I don't even call them old. Like I say, age is irrelevant to me.
I used to tell people, I think when I turned 40, I told people, you just want them to know my age so you can keep up with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You trying to measure out
That's
how
true.
I'm living by knowing my age.
Exactly. That's all you want to know.
Yeah. Other than that, it can't be that relevant. You know it's not that relevant, but it's okay. You try to check for me. I see you.
I see what you're doing.
I see what you're doing.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta start asking the right question. Now you say that. What's age? Really? What age
Edna!
Oh, brother Ed, what's popping?
That's what's up. Oh, I said, no, I ain't even see. I'm reading his sister's name. Lord have mercy. Hey, Ed, that's age.
Appreciate the admiration. Appreciate it, man.
That's right. Shout out to One Love.
We gotta stop looking at the facade. You in that cybersecurity class, and easily your so-called age, and your so-called intelligence could have prevented you from going in there and learning something.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
It could have everything's out there. Like, you know, you're 21 and you still going in here. She looks 21.
He cute.
And you still going in here trying to learn all this stuff. Like, that could have prevented you. That prevents a lot of people.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, I didn't have this. Like me now, I'm just now getting on the Instagrams, right?
Yep.
And people is on something else.
Yes.
They're on clock tick. They're on TikTok.
He said clock tick.
I was playing around. Y'all on this little on the
that.
You know what I'm talking about, but they on something else.
Now he just sound like somebody when your grandparents used to call when all the grandkids was together and they be like, Joe, but you know what your name is. Come here.
You know who I'm talking to,
you
boy. Get over
here.
Get mad at you and himself at the same time. Why you still sitting down? You know who I was talking to.
You
man.
just did that right now. That was hilarious.
I sound like my dad with us. The oldest one. Get over here. You know what I'm talking to.
You're right. That when they start making up stuff, you like everybody sitting laughing, knowing, right?
Yeah.
We know you talking about what it's fun watching him trying to get it out. That's what we be doing. For real.
Stuff comes so quick. I was on tapes and CDs for the longest, man. I'm still on CDs. You go in my car now, I got to pull stuff out my CD players. So I listen to my CDs.
I have a CD in my CD player too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm all right with that.
I am. The sound quality is so much better. I hate computer listening.
But so why do they have record players and tape decks back? Because
exactly.
I'm just saying.
They got everything's coming back. You're right, because you can go into Walmart now and get your record player.
You most certainly can.
Put your 8-inch
Get
and your
boom
12-inch
box.
on. Yes.
Yep.
And still do it.
I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all can't age out. We in a perfect age. We in a perfect time.
Yes.
Y'all better learn these children of all ages.
For real.
Of all
I already
ages.
got a
Clocked it.
She said, laughing my black ass.
I gotta catch up, man.
Oh, that's hilarious. Because that
Laughing
clock tick
black
is
ass.
hilarious. I ain't gonna lie. I might be using it. Y'all on that clock tick? I think I'm gonna say it to all my. So y'all know I got a household of nieces and nephews. I think I'm gonna say that in front of them
Clock tick.
this weekend. I'm gonna be like, get off that clock tick.
I gotta make myself look crazy on here.
Yo, I did too. And actually, I appreciate that. There used to be a time I would not ever. I don't. This being on face, all this stuff. So I appreciate you for making me feel comfortable enough to do this. When I did radio before, I refused
to do
the face to show
man,
up.
I'm glad you did
I
it.
appreciate you.
I'm glad you did it, man. You added extra put a little you know, you said put a little in it. You know, you added extra. You always need a
sounding board.
You said what?
Yep.
I'm sorry, sounding board.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, y'all. I've been up since 6 a.m.
Oh, you good?
I understand. Trust.
You good? Yeah.
Hey, you ever been driving down the road and that old needle goes all the way over to the east?
You at
right
E
right
there.
almost there.
You right there.
I still got that 20 miles to go, even though it's on E. You know what I'm talking about?
So you pull
Props.
I pull over.
You can
I gotta
pull
put a little
through.
gas
You
in
got
real
this.
quick.
You got these 20 miles. You got it.
That's good though. You putting your energy into something you want to do, man. And I think that us as
That's a
conscious
different
people,
type of time.
yeah. Is it because you're doing what you want to do?
Yeah.
You're not letting hold you back. And it goes back to what you be in the cybersecurity class. Malk has an excuse to be like, hey man, we're not gonna do the show today.
Mhm.
But every time I come in here, he says, I need to get sponsors. I need to get this. I'm doing this. I need to add this so we can make our station. He always says hour two, like I'm owning the station or something. But he says hour make you feel included.
That's the dope thing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, it's hard for people to do that.
Yeah, they'll be like, I got to get my station where I need it to be, and this is I do. I'm gonna say, hey man, what? He'll call me and be like, matter of fact, I'm gonna use Malcolm X as an example of what a lot of us folks should do. What do I need to do to make the culture better? Malcolm will call me out of nowhere. Hey man, something you think I need to do? Is something I need to change? Take in mind, I'm giving this man his gratuities to be here. He don't need to ask me shit.
Mm-hmm.
He just needs to do what he think he need to do.
Right.
No, I subscribe to the thought that I'm a sports fanatic, so I use sports examples a lot. You have players like I'm going to use Tom Brady. They might sign Tom Brady to a contract when he was playing. They might say, Tom, we're going to pay you $35 million a year. Do you know Tom Brady would say, nah, if you give me all that, I'm going to lead the league in sacks. They're going to sack me the whole game. Take 12 million of that and pay my offensive lineman. That's the notion I subscribe to at the station. I don't want, if I get $10 million today, I want y'all to eat too. I want y'all to eat. I want the live radio show to have sponsors. So you don't have to pay me anything. The sponsors pay it. That's what I want. I want to be just like 97.9 The Box, Magic 102, 93.7 The Beat in Dallas. I want to be just like 92.9. That's a country station. The community is supporting them, and corporate America is supporting them. And if that happens, I want my team members to be on board with me because this will be by the well, it already sits under the umbrella of our nonprofit. So at some point, I'm going to have some of y'all on the board, and we'll all eat at the same time. That's why I talk that way. It's a we thing. It's a team thing.
We got to start.
I want y'all to
yeah.
Right. All I kept hearing while you was talking was nah. All I could think about was Percy. Because that dude keeps moving. Folks be having jokes about him, but all day he keep moving that business.
Yeah,
he keeps it moving.
He keeps that business moving.
We gotta, man. Our culture is our business, man. And if you're not out checking on people just to check on them, not for props, not for attention, but just to do it because it's in your heart. Yeah. Livia say she hungry.
What you eating, sis?
You know, I want something to eat. I gotta go home and cook too. I don't know what I'm gonna cook tonight. But yeah, we gotta have that mindset that Malcolm just presented to y'all on the show, man. We gotta check in on our culture. You know, I had a few qualifications that I was saying. I'm gonna let you say something that you want to say. But I think you should put in community service. Man, one thing I do is whenever I get a chance to talk to anybody of any age that was at any time, I ask them, hey, how was it when you was at that time? Mm-hmm. What'd you have to do at that time to get to where you wanted at? Mm-hmm. What was the money like? You know what I'm saying? Did you ever travel? And if you did, where'd you travel to and what'd you see? Mm-hmm. What is it like raising your kids now? Mm-hmm. I always ask fathers and mothers different, even if I don't agree with it, mm-hmm. say, hey, I spank my kid. Why? And does it work? And how does it work? Mm-hmm. You know, especially ones that got, because I'm like a YYG in the game. Like I said before, I'm not even a Y. I'm just, I'm a letter roaming around. You know what I'm saying? So I always ask people that got kids that's like 25 and 30, even 18 and 19, like, because I got a girl and a boy. How's your relationship with your daughter as a man? For the woman, how's your relationship with your daughter as a woman? Vice versa for the boy. How's your relationship with your son, man? We got to start checking in because I asked these questions because they might have done something at the time that they thought was doing that was right.
Uh-huh. Yep.
That when they got older, they're like, man, I shouldn't have done this.
Yes.
And when you can tell me that, when I can get that from you, that's like the first step in like, man, I shouldn't have done. I can learn from that. So I think as woke people, as whatever you want to call it, that's the information we need to start getting from the community. Use that the domestic violence thing. And I heard a little bit of it. We got to start getting info. What made you stay in the relationship? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I'm not a judge.
Right.
I'm an observer. I'm an explorer. You see what I'm saying? I need to journal this down, not to put on the internet, but so I know if I meet a sister or a brother who's in this conversation, how to approach him mm-hmm. or her. Mm-hmm. Both sides, how to approach it. Hey, man, you need to do this. And hey, brother, because me, if the situation that I have been in as domestic violence, I'm ready to put hands on the brother. Hey, come hit me like you do her, please. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put one hand behind my back. I'm gonna give you an advantage. I'm gonna put any kind of weapon I got in the gutter. I'll go buy a new one. Come do and sometimes that brother might be, and I'm not giving no excuses for the brothers and sisters who hit nobody. Sometimes he's been hurt. And he think that's the way he needs to express himself. And he's not even cognizant that he's doing it. He think he's doing something right. So now I'm just beating him like everybody else did him.
Yes. Because I might be here for it. He might be like, okay, I'm here for it. This is what I want to do all day, every day anyway.
Exactly. Them the ones anyway. But now I'm triggering him. Mm-hmm. And now he's gonna go do it to somebody else. Mm-hmm. Now we done boxed. I gotta go buy me a whole whatever. We done did all this. We both bleeding, and what got solved? They might end up getting back together.
That part. When I saw that happen with my cousin when I was little, because me and my little sister trying to beat her boyfriend up, and they smooching and stuff the next day. I was like, man, forget about it. I'm so disappointed in you.
I'm so pissed right now.
And I was little, like I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah.
That disappointed me, but asking the questions.
Mm-hmm.
because oftentimes they won't have any answers.
Mm.
I don't know why. And maybe I think that's a part of being conscious, being woke. Sometimes my sister Olivia here talking, well, she's signing out now, but I always tell her, girl, you be coming with those questions.
Mm.
She comes with questions that allow you to think,
Mm.
make you think, cause you to ponder. Like, I ain't never. That's a good question. I never thought about that like that. And that's a part of the work of conscious woke people, because asking those questions, not always showing up with the answers. You ain't don't nobody have the solutions for nobody, right?
True.
That's why you have the conversations. For you to be conscious and woke is for you to entertain conversations that would and could feed you, not just you feeding the other. You're not out feeding the homeless with your conscious woke conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
You are lending yourself to an exchange that, even if I think you don't know, and this is, you got to mature in it, right? Because I used to just make people choke with everything that I thought that I knew, because I didn't know why I knew it. I didn't. So I was just,
yeah.
I had no idea why, what for, its purpose. I was just like, this is what I know. And I was extremely like here with it, aggressive with it, because I didn't know what I was being given, and there was nobody around to teach me. And that's another thing. When we see, like in church, they see the babes in Christ. When we see the babes in consciousness and what, we got to talk to them.
True.
Because what we don't want is to be a repellent. You want to get that happy balance where you can bring people in to hearing, right? Because all of this stuff, the people hear because they're being bedazzled and manipulated.
True.
Dun, 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 dun. A little show being put on for them, and then we telling you some things. We got, if the point is to get a message across, then do that and pay attention. Know your audience, as my sister Olivia says all the time. Most men that beat women don't have the fortitude or balls to beat a man. That is true.
That is true for most.
It's a very, that type of stuff. First of all, everybody keep your hands off of everybody.
True.
Because I told you before, I don't believe in raising your boys not to hit. You raise both of them.
Yeah.
Keep your hands off of people.
True.
In our conversations as conscious woke people, we got to help one another, right? Because then we also get into fruitless debates, because you have a piece and an understanding about something that I don't, and I want to exchange in a debate. Who's smarter than who?
Exactly.
Who I think very deeply. Who's the most philosophical up in this piece?
True.
Who's the blackest? Who's the most black? Who's the most Christian? Because I got 11 hymnals. You got 2. Really, it's not. We got to exchange that information, because there's not just one way to see it.
True. There you go.
It's not just one way to eat the apple. Some going to eat it with the skin on. Some going to peel it back. Some going to take the core out first. It's a whole lot of ways to do this thing. And if we don't walk around, we don't want to give others room to interfere in the fact that we at odds.
True.
Right?
True.
I mutually respect your position. Your position is your position.
Yeah.
I respect that. As do you. Can we have some heavy conversations about some things? Absolutely. But maintaining the respect that I may be woke on a level, on a subject about something simple, men and women.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That you wouldn't be. Do you have something to listen to the conversation about women? Of course. Do I about men? Of course.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you the man, I'm the woman.
Exactly.
It's a good possibility. I have 10 inches more of an idea how some things work.
Exactly.
Just a little bit.
Just
a little bit. And so we have to be conscious within that. I had an experience with a patient one time by phone, and he thought he had done great. He got on the phone. He was like, yeah, it seems like I made the wrong decision about my insurance, but according to what you told my wife, I did a great job. So we on a three-way laughing
Yeah.
and stuff because he says I tell her let's congratulate your husband. He sounds like he wants a special treat that ultimately he did a good job
Yeah.
because I told you something that will work. But he said something that made me think. He said he was raised that it is better to be lucky than smart.
Oh wow.
And
Wow.
it made me think about how brilliant my people are because he was not a he was a human, not a hue
Yeah.
with an E man.
Yeah.
And it made me think about my people, about us.
Huh.
We are the most brilliant, most intelligent. So why we have a hard time
Hmm.
getting further? We want to make sure everybody know how smart we are.
Hmm.
We want to philosophically
Yeah.
flow in this life because we are at that level. That no matter what is put out there, you can choose to deny it. I'm telling all of y'all. I don't care what you can deny it all you want. The facts are the facts. How long are we gonna keep debating the facts? At some point, we have to understand that a lie needs support. The truth never does.
Huh. Real.
The truth always speaks for itself, loud and clear. It don't need defense.
Huh.
Our energy has to be in fighting for justice because we
Hmm.
live in this world with humans,
Hmm.
right? And in my opinion, we the most vile creatures God ever created because we the only one who don't operate on our purpose, in purpose, and all that kind of stuff.
True.
We got all these choices, decisions, blah blah blah. We don't want to be a bird today. We want to be a bee. All that stuff,
Yeah,
right?
for real.
So we kind of vile.
Yeah.
And the only time everybody else gets messed up is when we start messing with it. And I say we loosely. Y'all know who the we. Anyway, but at some point, when do we stop being right and just be?
There it is. That's true. That's true.
Even with all of it, is it just about the intelligence? Because we got that aces, deuces, and spades. We ain't got to prove that to nobody.
Yeah, for real.
It's not all these centuries later. We still trying to prove what?
It-
I ain't proving nothing. I done long since checked out of proving how beautiful my black is, how beautiful my femininity is. I don't have to. You just watch me work.
Exactly.
You just watch me live. That's
Exactly.
it. I'm not proving nothing. See it, say it. You can get with it. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I mean, that's it. And we do a lot of that. And that only tells me one thing: we still not sure.
Very insecure people.
We still not sure
Mhm.
of the who that we are. We still need a certain level of things, and at some point, we got to ask ourselves, how much is enough before we get to the living, before we get to the glory, before we get to the love, the laughter, the enjoyment. How much is enough? Because we got access all over in different places. Not all of us, but we've reached those levels.
Yes.
Even if it was at 100 and then this level is 50 and this level is 10, it's all been touched.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah, exactly.
All the levels been touched.
Exactly.
What do we do at this point with our consciousness, our wokeness, our abilities, our gifts, our talents, our brilliance, our beauty? What do we do with that? All colors come from black. And then what?
Exactly.
The whole world science. In our hand is here. We have it. What do we do with it?
You know what? I agree with you. I had this thought in my head. I always say this. To go back what you say, who we are, and realization of who we are and where we've already been at, where we could be at. Even where we could be at, we've been at, right?
Absolutely.
I was looking at the news today and it said, oh, we just realized that police pull over black people more than other people. I started laughing. I'm like, what? And that made me think, in every generation, you had rules when I was kid. Like, hey man, the police pull over, always go to a lit area. Always go where people. This is before they had these.
Way before.
All this crap.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? This is before that. Pull over somewhere you comfortable at if you can. Keep driving. Not if you can. Do this for your survival.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. And normally, if you was in the right area, someone would go let somebody else know.
Absolutely.
Hey, so-and-so's over here. If anybody know them.
Yep.
So, and that's just a small piece. We got to be the chosen people. Because if less people with less color was to go through this, they would go mad. You see what I'm? We've been treated this way, and we still try to be accepted.
So that means we got to change our need.
We do. We got to change
why
that.
Why do we need it?
We got to ask our, and see, these are the stuff that so-called conscious people got to start doing.
Yeah.
Not on the internet, not to be popular,
mm-hmm.
but to normal people like you and I. And we're not normal, but to just say that. We got to just go to conferences or go to the gas station. Brother, why are you drinking this? What's the real reason why you drink? If you could improve your life right now, how would you do it? What could I do to help? And once I get phase 1 done and I got this money raised, or we got this money raised, because it ain't gonna just me. I need some soldiers. You know, that's why I had you on here as the co-host. This is gonna be what we do. And like you said earlier, we got to show it. When we're gonna start getting these groceries for these elders. My dad used to make us do that.
Yes.
We used to go, old man, old woman. Not to call you old, but those who maybe had a little arthritis in there.
Yes.
I used to go up telling older men at the age of 9, 10, 11, give me them bags, man.
Yes.
Oh, youngster, I was lifting up wood. Hey, I bet you was. Thank you. Give me, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And we got to start being. Me and Malk has a conversation. You know what's crazy? We'll go around and call each other kings, queens, brothers, sisters,
right.
God, goddess, all this other stuff. We don't act like it.
There you go.
We don't. But God has His own heaven.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Using the definitions that we utilize now. Now, I'm not going to get into a definitional war what all this used to mean, didn't mean. Every word that we use now had a different definition over a million times.
Every last single one.
Every one of them.
Many of them didn't even exist. But.
Yeah, exactly. But to utilize what we use now, to call each other kings, queens, God, goddesses, we got to start being that.
Right, because it's not just entitled. I mean, I could put a Mercedes-Benz on my Nissan, the emblem. Yeah. I think you still gonna know it's a Nissan.
Yeah, for real.
I'm just saying, act the part. Do what's required, because to whom much is given, much is required. Exactly. So if that's your title, what you do? Because I can't be a queen and be going at my sisters and my queens. I can't be that.
You can't.
I also can't be a queen and going at those who are not. Because I don't know the last time y'all seen a queen step off her throne to rumble in the jungle.
Man.
I ain't finna do that.
Man.
I'm going to make some decisions and execute some necessary consequences.
Exactly.
But I'm not coming down there to jester with you.
Exactly.
I'm not clowning with you.
Your kingdom wouldn't let you.
No.
Your queendom wouldn't let you.
Absolutely.
Or your heaven, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever it is. There's no way we don't put those sanctions into order, but the title is our thirst trap. So you thirsty for a title to be given to you by whom?
Exactly.
Because if gives you the title, then they still in control of whether to take it back or not.
Exactly. Well, thank you, son. These kids don't call me daddy because it's popular. They don't call me Baba because it's popular.
That part.
They call me that because I'm in their face every day, hugging them, kissing them, playing with them, teaching them stuff. My woman ain't faithful to me or call me or hubby or husband, whatever, because it's a popular name. It's because she loved me and she trusts me. And same with me.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I'm not going to claim this woman and she ain't got my back.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We got to start living up to every title we call ourselves, which goes back to the show. But we got to start living up with every. Your nephews ain't calling you auntie. They're not getting in the car with you because they supposed to.
That's right.
Or else they be kicking and screaming.
That's right.
They
That's
be like,
right.
man, whoa, what are you doing? Hey, whoa. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
He rolling with you and she rolling with you because they trust and they love you and
That's
they
right.
want to be around you.
That's right.
They probably asked to go with you.
That's right.
I'm ain't too Brooklyn,
Y'all know that's why y'all did a disservice when y'all stopped them babies from calling you grandma.
Huh?
You're not gonna know it now, but as they grow older, you're gonna wish you did something different.
Yes.
Those other titles are great, they're wonderful, but there is a real sincere connection for your grandmother, and that's what you are. It don't have nothing to do with your age. I'm too young to be a grandmother. The grandmother is one of the highest titles in our community that you could be honored and blessed and bestowed upon you. I'm sorry, but it really is. And the fact that most of us had grandmothers that took place, stepped into place, whatever, I don't see how you don't see that as a badge of honor. No shade. That's just my opinion. Down the line, we gonna see what changing that particular narrative does to us as a whole. And I take up that mantle with you. I'm nobody's grandmother because I'm nobody's mother. But the significance of that role as a grandmother, you've allowed people to maneuver. I mean, look at everything else that has changed and see how that has manifested. Those titles, parents, your mother, your father, all of these things are important. There's a reason why people take them away and stop doing them, because they intentionally want to disrespect that you ain't earned that.
Exactly.
That's not you. You're not my father or what my mother or whatever the case may be. There's a reason why they take them away.
Yes.
You can't take away something that doesn't have a significance in the first place.
Huh.
You so just idly walking around. It's not Halloween. You're not walking around doing king and queen and empress and all of that just to be looking good or because it sounds good. And it does. It sounds fantastic. But it looks even better when you rock it the way it's supposed to be rocked. When a gentleman and some brother respects me, don't even know me, just see me out in the street, I know that I'm wearing it well. I know that it's on me. It's in me. It's coming through me because I ain't said a word. But I'm being respected and treated like this by a complete stranger. I know that there's something there. I know there's an understanding that doesn't even have to be spoken. Because y'all think about it. If I'm walking around here talking, I'm a queen, I'm a queen, I'm a queen. Is I? Am I really? Because if I was, I wouldn't have to express it to you so much.
Exactly.
Right now, I'm trying to convince you. For you
convince
to
you or myself. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Or myself.
That's true.
It's such significance and importance in everything we do. So I want all the conscious woke, whatever it is, I plead to you to keep it going, keep it alive, keep learning, keep growing, keep sharing, keep having the conversations, keep communicating, keep showing up. It can be discouraging.
Yeah.
It could definitely be discouraging for some time, but you are not created this way for nothing. So don't let it fall to the side. Don't be discouraged ever. And be careful though, because there's a lot of imposters. Don't be one. Don't be an if it's not you, it's not you. You ain't got to wear something that don't fit you. Ain't nobody trying to make you dance in too tight shoes. You can take them off. It's okay. It really is, because we all have a role to play. When you play the game of life like chess, there's a significant piece with a significant name that can make specific moves. That's it. That's all.
Man,
that's all.
That's true. You have any last thoughts?
My thoughts are, I love you and I mean it. Thank you for showing up, showing us love, interacting with us. Thank y'all for having me here. This is super dope. I'll see y'all next Tuesday. We will see y'all next Tuesday and chop it up again as he comes up with something else to challenge me with.
Shoot. Appreciate you being on the show. To piggyback off what you said, the topic was, what is the job description of a revolutionary or woke person, whatever? Create your own definition. If you're that, create your own definition. Everybody has a piece to play. Create your own definition, create your own qualifications, and then live up to them qualifications and be that definition.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? Everything I say, when I said reparations, last show, create your own reparations. That was the bottom line of it.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can give us that can take back or make better.
That's right.
Like you said, keep your hands off people. If I slap you, I can't take that slap back. If I cheat on my wife, I can't take back what I did with that. You know how long it's going to take me for her to even see me the same way?
Absolutely.
So create your own definitions and be that definition. Define it. So people will then see what it is to be a revolutionary. Malcolm said one time in a speech, if you knew what a revolutionary was, you wouldn't even say the word.
That's right.
And I'm saying that for all these terms that they have, even though they created them, we had them first, but they took them and commercialized them. If you knew what being woke was, you'd be yawning like Malcolm over here because you wouldn't be asleep. If you knew what revolution was, you wouldn't say that because you don't want to put yourself in that situation. I don't care if you're a doctor, a nurse, a fighter, a leader, a king, a god, whatever. If you knew what building the heaven was, you wouldn't say it so loosely. Like we were talking about earlier, grandma, I'm going to shut up after this, Malcolm. If you knew what a father, a grandmother, a mother was, you wouldn't be quick to become it if you knew what that came with. So what I'm saying is your job description is what you create. And understand what you're saying when you say these titles. We got examples out here. You can read the Bible and see what heaven is. You can look at former revolutionaries, not just the popular ones like Malcolm or Khalid, but look at some of the ones who were just fathers and said, you're not going to hit my kids no more. Brother named Robert, I can't remember it, but some of the ones that don't, look in your neighborhood, man. You know, but anyway.
That's what being authentic is about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to be what you can live up to.
Exactly.
You making commitments to things you can't even do.
Exactly.
Not a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Not a long time. And real revolutionaries is mothers, fathers, aunties, those who take on responsibilities that weren't even placed on them. So to those fathers who have kids who are so-called not theirs, but them kids look at them and be like, oh, that's my dad. That's mom. And to the mothers who take on kids who are not theirs and be like, oh, that's my mom. That lady might have, had me or whatever, but that's not my mom.
That's right.
That's my mom.
That's right.
That's my dad. That's my grandma. Or my grandma is my mom. And my granddad is my dad.
That's right.
Those are revolutionaries in the communities, is what I'm getting at. Those are the real people. Mount calling the station our station. He ain't got to do that.
That's right.
Hey, look, man, you got my money? Appreciate you. Your show's on Tuesday. See you then.
That's going to run you off.
That's right.
That's going to run you off because I'm not including you. I played on organized teams my whole life, so that's not in me.
Those are the perfect words right there.
It was always team. It was always And on the track team, I don't care if we're about to go to state. Every event counts. If we're going to state, I don't know how much y'all know about track and field, but if we're going to state, we have to get past regionals first. And if everybody doesn't place, we're not going to state. I don't care if I get number one in high hurdles. I ran high hurdles. I ran the open quarter. I ran the 100-meter dash, and I ran I forgot something. The mile relay, the open quarter, 100-meter hurdles. And 300-meter hurdles. I can get first place in every event. That don't mean the team is going to state.
That's right.
That means I'm going to state.
That's right.
So I'd be running around the track, the whole team, go, 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 because it was a point system. I'm cheering the whole team on.
That's right.
That's how we got to be.
That's right.
We teams, man. I like hooping. So if you ain't blocking for me, I ain't going to get to the goal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're not in the corner where I can pass it to you, we're not going to score.
Right.
And you don't have to be jealous of nobody because there is a position for everybody.
Exactly.
Get in your position.
Right.
Woo.
Get in your position and boss up.
Man.
Also,
Do that.
the whole and help the whole team win.
That's it.
But I say this all the time too, and we got to get out here.
Yeah. We leave.
I say this all the time too. A lot of people who have never played competitive sports don't know how to be a team.
Hmm.
It's always been them.
Hmm.
That's not the case with everybody. Some people learn through, what's the word I'm looking for? Is it osmosis? What's the word I'm looking
Muscle
for?
memory, or doing it, taking action.
I forgot the word I'm looking to. We're looking for, but they learn through observation,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they pick it up.
Mhm.
Other people don't learn through observation.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So what do you
That's
do?
true.
What do you do? So anyway, I liken it to they've never been on a team. If I see them and it's all me, they don't know nothing about being on nobody's team.
Yeah.
Nothing at
Yeah.
all. So I try to do my best to surround myself with team players, because I don't care how good I am, I can't do it by myself.
Truth.
I can't do it by myself.
That's right.
Truth.
Can't. Ain't
It
no
was
way.
designed intentionally as so.
Huh.
It's not one thing you will ever be able to do without needing someone else.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's intentional.
That's true. You can't have a
That's
baby.
not by accident.
Yeah, without using. I can't have a baby without my wife,
That's right.
despite what they say.
That's not. That is not by accident.
Ain't no more immaculate conception.
Yeah. Even God put the baby in Mary, so she needed somebody, depending on what story you read. But yeah.
Indeed.
So anyway, that's the topic of the show, man. I hope you got something from it. Anybody who wants to use that title, make sure you live up to it. If not, you're gonna see your own downfall. Believe me, because
Absolutely.
this movement that we doing, it's gonna happen. And I might not check you, but the movement itself will check you. So a lot of these fakes are gonna fall. But anyway, that's the show tonight, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Mal got the music for you. Grown folks only. Y'all listen to Rely Radio on Real Talk 100. Go ahead, Mal. You do your thing. Appreciate y'all listening.
Thank you. Miss Brooklyn's son is on the left, and Mr. Inyar Zulu is on the right. This has been another deep conversation tonight between the two of them. I'm so glad they've teamed up at Real Talk 100 Radio. And look at it, I used the word team. And they tag team subjects together well. I hope this team lasts for a long, long time. On the Rely Radio Show. Rely is spelled RAULI. It stands for rebooting and uniting lost energies.
You got it.
You've been here too long, and I still be like, this is the rebooting. I have to think about it, but it's the rebooting and uniting lost energies show here on Real Talk 100 Radio. Miss Brooklyn's son has just joined the team today. Official. They made it official, and this is the last clap of the night. If you enjoy deep conversations, join the Rely Radio Show every Tuesday night from 8:30 to 10:30. 8:30 to 10:30 every Tuesday night. Yes, we do go over regularly. Because the conversations are too deep. I'm not the kind of guy that I don't think I'll ever be a movie producer or a mini-series producer, because I don't see how the mini-series producers do it. They'll build up the plot, and have the music playing in the background, and then we'll see you next week. And I can't never do that, because the shows are too good, they're too deep, and I love the communication that's going on. I love what the messages that are being given. So, be that as it may, y'all, we are out of here for tonight. This is the end of the Rely Radio Show, but y'all keep it locked to Real Talk 100 Radio the rest of the night. During the daytime, we try to censor it, but at nighttime, it's for the grown folks. There's a lot of ratchet stuff being spoken of, so y'all keep the kids away from Real Talk 100 Radio late at night. But hey, if you would like to have an interview, if you would like a radio show, if you would like promotion, if you would like to sponsor the station and or the show, all you got to do is text promo, text interview, text sponsorship, or text radio show to 936-333-1969. It's scrolling on the bottom of the screen right now as we end the show. Good night, everybody, from Real Talk 100 Radio, the Rely Radio Show, Miss Brooklyn Sun, and Inyar Zulu. We'll see y'all next Tuesday night. Good night.